What's happening, beautiful people, and welcome back here to your beginner 4-week challenge, week 3, day 3. We're gonna switch things up today a bit and take a restorative approach to the session by introducing a few beginner yoga poses. So all you're gonna need for today, if you choose, is your yoga mat, and as always, these bodies and an intention to move and breathe and feel great in these bodies. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We're gonna kick things off here with a thread the needle rotation for the spine. So we do this by setting up here in a tabletop position. So hands are gonna be just outside of shoulder width apart, knees are gonna be right around hip width apart, and toes are gonna be tucked here. We'll take a big breath in as we reach big overhead with my right arm, and then on the exhale, thread the needle here. So reach behind the left arm with the right arm. We can bend that left elbow a bit and just drop the torso some. Inhale, big reach and rotation. Exhale, we're gonna reach behind here and rotate in the opposite direction. Inhale. Exhale. Nice controlled movement here. We'll do a couple more on this side. Listening to the body. Checking in with the body, being present in the body. Big breath here, engaged all the way through the fingertips. And then thread the needle all the way through. See if we can drop the torso and the chest all the way down to the floor. Let's get one more like that. Inhale big. Exhale as you reach all the way through. Smooth. And then we'll just rinse and repeat on the opposite side. You can take a second here if it feels good to kind of shift the weight around. You can reverse the wrist position here and stretch out the wrists and the forearms, pat the feet on the floor. But then we'll go ahead and reset. Toes are tucked, hands are in this neutral position. Inhale big, left arm goes up. We're pushing strong into the floor with this grounded hand. And then on that exhale, we'll thread the needle and bring that torso to the ground. Inhale and exhale. Big breath in. Good rotation as we let all the air out. 3 more like that. 3. 2. And 1. Big breath in, expand, open. And thread that needle all the way through. Beautiful. Not too shabby there at all. Again, if some organic movement is inspired here, you can rock the body, rotate the hips a little bit. I love when I'm in this position to just stretch out my wrist, so flipping the hand all the way around, fingers pointing back towards you. Good. And then let's set up for this dynamic frog hip opener. So we're gonna stay in this position, and all we're gonna do is put as much space as we can in between the knees. So start to creep more and more space in between your knees. We're supported here by the hands, and using that support, we're gonna begin to rock back and forth under control here, regulating the air in and out as we move. And if this proves to be a little too much, you can come up out of that and bring the knees a little closer together, maintaining that same dynamic rocking pattern. And then you can settle back into even more space by bringing the knees further apart. But we're gonna play in this space for about 40 seconds or so. Sending the hips forward, sending the hips back. You can work in this semicircular motion if that feels good. But the idea here is just to create as much space as we can in the hips by putting as much space as we can in between the knees here. So let's go for about another 20 seconds. Again, if this is tough, you can come up out of it for a second, breathe, regulate, and then get right back into it. And if you want more, you can even work down to the elbows. And again, continue to create more and more space in between the knees. Nice, good stuff here. So let's come up out of that. You can send the hips back here in this position to decompress the spine a bit, if that feels good. And then we're gonna set up for a bit of it's a core exercise, more of an anti-rotation. It's called a bird dog here with alternating kicks and reaches. So we're gonna take a breath in. We're still in this quadruped position, right? So inhale, and we're gonna send the right arm forward and the left leg back. So take a pause here for a second, stabilize on opposite limbs. And then on the exhale, we're just gonna bring the elbow to the knee. So inhale, big reach and kick behind you. Exhale, elbow to knee. 2, 3. And we'll just get 10 on each side. Keeping a nice neutral spine. You want to think about kicking the wall behind you with that heel. So this left leg in this case, this up leg is very active. 5 more here. 5. And blow all the air out. Get you a good contraction here as you bring that elbow to the knee. 3. And 1. Beautiful. Good, good, good. And then we can just reset here real quick. Again, any organic movement that feels good in between these sets, feel free to take it. I'll make sure to work at a pace that allows you to integrate any organic movement. Again, one of my favorites is just this wrist stretch. You never realize how tight you can be in the wrists and how limiting that can affect you, how limiting it can be in life. So resetting here for the opposite side here. Right arm, or left arm, excuse me, and right leg kick back. Pause here for a beat just to assert yourself over this position. You want to lift that left arm so that the bicep is framing the ear. Lift that backside leg from the glute and kick the wall behind you. And then bringing the elbow to the knee. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Marvelous. Good, good, good. We can reset here. Take any organic movement that feels good. And then from there, we're going to work into a dynamic downward dog position. So let's tuck the toes here, lift the hips, and let's come into this downward facing dog. And right away, let's pause and just take note of what we feel. You can pedal the feet out if that feels good. Really pushing the hips toward the sky, letting that head hang heavy. Pushing the chest toward the thighs. You can lift the feet, you can plant the feet. But we'll take a second here to see what we feel. And then when you're ready, we're gonna reach for our toes with the opposite hand. And then reset. We'll get a few of these here on each side. 2, 3, 4, 5. One more on each side. 6 and 6. Beautiful. Good, good, good. And then one more quick second in this down dog. We're gonna set up our next pose from this position. So deep breath in, and we're gonna pick the left leg up as high as we can. Exhale, and we're gonna stamp that foot right in between the hands, strong on the ball of the back foot, and we're gonna lift into this crescent lunge position. So nice elevated torso, big broad split stance here, rooted through the middle of this left foot and the ball of the back foot. And we're gonna hold the arms big overhead, engaged all the way up through the fingertips. 3 breaths in this position. Filling the belly. 1 more. Beautiful. 1 more breath in here. And then on the exhale, we're gonna pivot that backside foot and open up into a warrior 2 position. So still in this lunge position, my right foot now is pivoted and pointing away from my body, and I'm really reaching big with both arms in opposite direction. Gaze is over my front hand here, in this case, my left hand. I'm gonna take a breath in here, reach forward and sweep back big and exalt this warrior two, feeling a nice stretch here along the left side body. And then come back to warrior two, sink in a little bit deeper. And let's get one more like that. Inhale, sweep, big reach, reaching down the right leg with the right hand. And then settle right back into warrior two. From there, we'll straighten out the left leg. Inhale. And on that exhale, we're gonna reach forward as far as we can and down, finding this triangle pose. Really engaged all the way up through the fingertips as I reach overhead with my right hand. 3 breaths here. Settling into even more space. 1 more. Beautiful. From this position, right hand comes down to frame that left foot. Left hand meets it, and we'll be right back in our downward facing dog. Couple of deep breaths here in this space, just pedaling the feet, taking any organic movement that feels good. And when we're ready, we'll take an inhale, right leg goes sky high, and on the exhale, steps right in between both of my hands. I'm rooted, and I'm gonna push the body tall here through the middle of this right foot, reaching big overhead into this crescent lunge. 3 breaths here. Keeping nice alignment, 90 degrees in this front side knee, shoulders stacked over my hips. This backside glute is really turned on and engaged. 1 more breath. Inhale here, and on the exhale, let's spin that back heel down and find our warrior two position here. Spreading the hands, finding as large or as long of a wingspan as we can here. We'll take a breath, scoop forward and then up and exalt. One more like that. Lean into it and exalt. Big reach overhead, stretching out that right side. Beautiful. Exhale finds warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, straightens that front leg. Inhale. Exhale, reaches forward and down. And then up with that left hand here, engaged all the way up through the fingertips. Eyes on my left hand here. Big, big, big stretch. 2 more breaths here. Beautiful. And then from there, we'll bring that left hand down, right hand to frame that right foot. We'll find downward facing dog here for another couple of deep breaths. And then let's work a little bit of a flow. So we'll shift the body forward into this high plank position. Regulate that air out as you work into this yogi push-up. Find up dog. Big breath in here. And then send the hips to the sky for 1 more down dog. Really pushing the chest toward the thighs, pedaling the feet if that feels good. Really, really nice here, guys. And from there, we can gently come down to this full kneeling position. And we're gonna finish with a big time heart opener. This is called camel pose. So you wanna be nice and tall here in this full kneeling position with the toes tucked behind you. And all we're gonna do is reach toward the heels with my hands to find a nice base of support here, pinning my shoulders back and down, and then relaxing the head as far back as it goes. 3 deep breaths in this space. This can be quite intense. One more. Beautiful. And then we'll bring that chin to the chest first and find this full kneeling position once again. We're gonna try one more set like that of 3 breaths here, using our feet as a nice strong base of support, feeling that support from the balls of the foot all the way up through the wrist, elbow, and shoulder. So again, we'll reset this up here, again, working with the space that's available to you. So reaching for the heels, pinning the shoulders back, pushing into the feet and the heels with my hands as I relax the head and take my breaths. Squeezing the glutes, good engagement in the glutes here. Smooth. Chin comes up first at a nice slight angle, and then the hands release, and we're back in this full kneeling position. Take a breather from this point before you stand up. The blood could be moving all over the place. You don't want you guys to get lightheaded or anything like that. That's a pretty intense pose. So again, make sure we're using the space that's available to you in your bodies, understanding that more and more space will come with time and practice. Well, thank you very much here for showing up for yourself. I hope you enjoyed this introductory yoga session. Please let me know in the community section what you guys think. Would you like to see more of this type of stuff? And yeah, we'll go ahead and continue to mix it into the flows and the programs. As always, eat well, get your sunlight. Thank you again for playing along, and I look forward to catching you guys right back here tomorrow for day 4.